The Kirby family of actors may not be as well known as the Sheens or the Quaids, but they should be. The most popular Kirbys were Bruce and his son Bruno, both of whom saw great careers as character actors in their heydays. However, as of January 24, 2021, neither of these great actors are with us anymore. Bruce survived his son Bruno, who died of leukemia in 2006 at 57. Bruce lived for nearly 15 years after his son's death. Just recently, though, he passed away at age 95. Now that both famous Kirbys are gone, they're survived by John Kirby, Bruce's younger brother, who's an acting coach. R.I.P. Bruce Kirby, Columbo and LA Law actor. Bruce Kirby was born Bruno Giovanni Guidacciolo. Though he chose to take the stage name Bruce during his career, he passed the name Bruno onto one of his sons. In turn, his son ended up using that name to start an acting career of his own. Bruce was born April 28, 1925. He was best known as a character actor, having appeared in many TV programs in his day. Some of the shows Bruce was featured on include Columbo and LA Law. However, he had many more roles under his belt. Though the cause of his father's death was not specified, John assured fans the actor died peacefully. Given his age, one can assume he passed away from natural causes. However, the location of death was Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. Bruce Kirby began his career as an actor in the 50s. He made several appearances in different anthology shows, such as Goodyear Playhouse and Omnibus. From these initial anthology roles, he went on to make the transition into more traditional TV sitcoms in the 60s. In doing so, he was able to receive roles in such notable programs as I Dream of Jeannie and The Patty Duke Show. While Kirby was already finding much success in the 50s and 60s, his star was only going to continue to grow as the decades went on. Entering into the vastly different decades that were the 70s and 80s, Bruce didn't have any trouble continuing his career in TV. He found roles in many different comedies of the time, including The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Bob Newhart Show, and Chico and the Man. Not only that, but Bruce was also able to stretch his wings into the more dramatic side of television. He found roles in such programs as Barney Miller, MASH, and Room 222. Besides all of Bruce's success in comedies and dramas, producers eventually realized the actor was the perfect fit for playing the part of a detective. Once the detective roles started coming, they didn't stop. Bruce appeared as a detective in more than a handful of different series. Just a small sample includes the shows Kojak, Medical Center, In the Heat of the Night, and Shannon. The streak came to a head in two notable programs that made especially great use of the character actor. These shows were Columbo and LA Law. On Columbo, Bruce had played multiple parts before finally settling into a recurring role as the character of Sergeant Kramer. On LA Law, he saw a steady 5-year-long gig as District Attorney Bruce Rogoff. With these two roles, Bruce cemented himself into the hearts of TV audiences. While Bruce is arguably best known for his roles on Columbo and LA Law, there were many other programs the actor appeared in. In his heyday, he could be seen in the shows The Golden Girls, Hill Street Blues, Matlock, and The Rockford Files. In his later years, he made appearances in such notable 21st century programs as Scrubs and Numbers. While television was obviously the field he was most comfortable in, he found work in Hollywood films too. In 1971, he appeared alongside Don Knotts in How to Frame a Fig. Many years later, he appeared in a 1985 biographical film based on the life of Patsy Cline titled Sweet Dreams. Only a year after that, he was seen in 1986's Stand By Me. In 1993, Bruce worked with actor Matt Dillon in the comedy Mr. Wonderful. While this role didn't catch the aging character all that much attention, another role with Dillon over a decade later did. The role was in the 2004 film Crash, where Bruce was cast to play the father of Matt Dillon's character. This went on to be Bruce's most notable role in a feature film. Crash received the Academy Award for Best Picture that year. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit the like button to show your support. And subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already, and click the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Bruce Kirby kept at the acting game with perseverance and patience. It was perhaps this spirit that emboldened his two children, Bruno and John, to follow in his footsteps. Of the two, Bruno received the greater amount of fame with regard to his acting roles. In fact, you could argue Bruno is more well-known than his father. However, with that increased level of fame also came an earlier death. Bruce passed his birth name to Bruno, as well as a good deal of his acting talent. Just like his father, Bruno was featured in shows like Columbo, Kojak, Room 222, Hill Street Blues, and MASH. Bruno also had a pretty hefty film career. He could be seen in the films City Slickers, This Is Spinal Tap, and When Harry Met Sally, just to name a few. Bruno was born in 1949 and received his role in Room 222 as a result of his father. This appearance was one of his first acting roles. The Godfather Part 2 gave the young actor his first big break in 1974, casting him in a role that had been played by Richard S. Castellano in the first film. Bruno could be seen all over TV throughout the 80s. However, his most notable roles came to him thanks to a few Billy Crystal comedies at the turn of the decade. It seemed Billy Crystal really had a thing for the actor, as Bruno was cast as Crystal's best friend in 2 separate comedies. Those were When Harry Met Sally in 1989 and City Slickers in 91. These roles solidified Bruno's abilities as a character actor, and he was continually utilized in both film and TV productions up until his death in 2006. While it appears Bruno's father passed away from natural causes, Bruno passed away from complications related to leukemia. Whereas Bruce Kirby lived till 95, Bruno's life was cut short at 57. Of course, Bruno was survived by both his father and younger brother. His father lived for nearly 15 years after Bruno's death, while his brother is still around today. John is a practicing acting coach. Working out of Hollywood, he's helped coach such actors and actresses as Jeff Bridges, Jim Caviezel, and Cameron Diaz. And he loves using his talent and experience to help unknown and fledgling actors find their way in the concrete jungle of Hollywood. The Kirby family is just one of many Hollywood families who have impressed audiences with their generational talent. Comment down below to share your favorite role from the Kirby family, or if you think you'd like to see John Kirby try his own hand at acting on the screen. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.